What if the very emotions we cling to, the fury we nurture, the desires we chase, the fears we flee, are not harmless shades of our humanity, but the silent assassins of our peace, our purpose, our very lives? We walk not among monsters of the outside world, but among the shadows of our own creation. These shadows live in our judgments, in our cravings, in our refusal to accept what is. This is not a tale of war or physical peril, but a far more intimate and profound struggle, the inner war that determines whether we truly live, or merely exist, consumed by the fires we refuse to extinguish. For centuries, the wisest among us have whispered of truths not to be shared lightly, not because they are dangerous in themselves, but because their misuse can lead to ruin. They are internal fortresses, disciplines that must be carefully guarded, patiently cultivated. If neglected, they collapse inward, and with them, so do we. These are the 5 truths, the 5 battles, the 5 gateways to the soul's preservation. If left unguarded, they lead not to death of the body, but to the erosion of the spirit. And that death, a life spent sleepwalking in emotional captivity, is the most terrifying fate of all. Welcome, seeker of truth. Welcome to the battlefield within. This is Stoicism, not merely philosophy, but a way of life, a compass for navigating the storms not of the world, but of the mind. Let us walk into the heart of fire, not to burn, but to forge an unshakable soul. This journey is not one of swords and shields, but of disciplines and discernment. The Stoics did not teach us to conquer lands or defeat enemies, but to conquer ourselves. They understood that our inner world shapes our outer experience. Epictetus, born into slavery, found freedom not in circumstance, but in wisdom. Marcus Aurelius, surrounded by luxury and power, never lost sight of humility and clarity. From one end of the social spectrum to the other, they arrived at the same conclusion. The true danger is not what happens to us, but how we respond. Stoicism is not self-help in disguise. It is ancient truth tested by fire. It is the understanding that while the world may be in chaos, your soul can remain unmoved, like a lighthouse in a storm. Over the next 5 sections, we'll uncover 5 inner disciplines. Call them secrets, if you must, that form the core of the Stoic path. Master them, and you will become unassailable. 1. The silence of judgment, controlling impressions. Every day we are struck by countless impressions, an insult, a loss, a victory, a delay. These moments seem to call for immediate reaction. But the Stoic pauses, the Stoic waits, because the first danger is not the event itself, it's what we tell ourselves about the event. A delay becomes an injustice, an insult becomes a wound, but only if we allow it. Epictetus urged us to recognize the gap between stimulus and response, between what happens and how we interpret it. There lies our power. In cultivating that silence of judgment, we become masters of our emotional world. Before the wave of reaction rises, take a breath. Ask, is this up to me? Is this truly harmful, or am I adding harm with my interpretation? In that pause lies everything: clarity, peace, and the power to choose our reaction. That silence is not weakness, it is command. It is the shield against emotional manipulation and the foundation of inner sovereignty. 2. The unseen chains, mastering desires and aversions. We often imagine ourselves free, but how many of our thoughts are consumed with wanting more money, more praise, more love? How many decisions are made not from reason, but from fear? Fear of rejection, of failure, of discomfort. These are our unseen chains, not forged by the world, but by our own disordered desires and aversions. Seneca, in his letters, warned us that much of our suffering is imaginary. We obsess over things that may never happen. We crave what may never come. And so, we live in a constant state of almost never content, never at peace. But the Stoic seeks freedom, not by fulfilling every desire, but by needing less. They desire only what is up to them, their integrity, their choices, their actions. To master desire is to say, I will not be owned by what I do not control. To master aversion is to say, I will face what is hard, and I will not be broken by it. That is real freedom. That is how you walk through fire without being burned. 3. The unspoken virtue, the practice of self-control and discipline. In a world that shouts, the Stoic whispers. In a world that reacts, the Stoic reflects. The third secret is not dramatic. It is quiet, often unnoticed. But it is the backbone of every Stoic life. Discipline, the ability to act with reason even when emotion screams for vengeance. The courage to do what is right even when no one is watching. Marcus Aurelius ruled the known world, yet he reminded himself daily to be humble, just, and diligent. He fought the inner battle, not the outer war, and so must we. Discipline is choosing not to say the cruel thing, even when it feels justified. Discipline is rising early when you'd rather sleep. Discipline is doing what is needed, even when it isn't easy. In that quiet strength lies freedom. Not the freedom to do whatever we want, but the freedom to do what is right and to be satisfied with that. 4. The hidden indifference, understanding what is not up to us. So much pain comes from fighting battles we were never meant to fight. We try to control the opinions of others. We try to change the past. We fear the future. But the Stoic holds the fourth secret, the discipline of letting go. Epictetus taught the dichotomy of control. Some things are within our power, our thoughts, our actions, our values. Everything else is not. And to waste our energy on the latter is to throw our soul into disorder. True Stoic calm doesn't come from apathy, but from clarity. The Stoic doesn't wish for things to go a certain way. They wish for things to go as they do, and to meet each moment with virtue. They are not indifferent because they don't care. They are indifferent because they care only for what matters. This is the liberation of soul from circumstance. 5. The shadow of mortality, embracing memento mori and amor fati. The final secret is the one most fear. But the Stoic welcomes it as a guide and teacher. Memento mori. Remember that you must die. Not to frighten, but to awaken. For how differently would we live if we knew this day might be our last? Death is not the enemy. Forgetting we will die, that is the enemy. When we embrace the brevity of life, we waste less time. We love more fiercely. We act more justly. And when coupled with amor fati, the love of fate, we begin to not only accept our lives, but embrace every piece of it. The good, the bad, the unexpected, all of it has shaped who we are. Seneca faced death with grace. Marcus Aurelius welcomed each day as a gift and a test. When we love our fate, we stop resisting life. We start living it, not passively but with deep engagement and bold courage. These are the 5 inner fortresses. They are not gates to keep the world out, but strongholds to keep our soul in. The silence of judgment, the chains of desire, the virtue of discipline, the indifference to externals, the shadow of death. If guarded and cultivated, these principles become armor, not against pain, but against surrender. They are your map out of emotional captivity, your compass in times of loss, fear, and confusion. The Stoics did not live easy lives, but they lived well, not because the world gave them peace, but because they found it within. You can too. The journey begins with awareness, and it is walked one decision at a time. So now you stand at the threshold. Will you remain captive to passion, or will you become the sovereign of your soul? The choice is yours. Begin today, walk the path, embrace the fire, and become unshakable. If this message resonated, if these ancient truths stirred something in you, then carry them forward. Share this journey with others. Leave a comment. What inner battles have you faced? How has Stoicism helped you endure, overcome, or grow? Like, subscribe, reflect. Not for us, but for yourself, for your growth, for your inner peace. Until next time, stay disciplined, stay courageous, and above all, keep fighting the good fight within.